Why has Gen Z specifically become so lonely? I mean, I don't have any reports or anything to give you, but like you see it online all the time, people talking about how Gen Z is the loneliest, or Gen Z doesn't have isn't going to get married, or isn't having like relationships with people, isn't getting into finding a significant other, isn't finding a best friend, that even friend groups are smaller than ever before. Like, why is this becoming more and more and more of an issue? And this kind of hits home as a topic for me a little more than I would like it to, and so I was kind of debating as to whether or not to talk about it, but I think it's important, and I think I want to address some of the thoughts on it, and perhaps the reasons why we seem to be falling behind so badly. And it goes back, and as with everything that I'm finding in our modern life, it ties back into the noise and the ramble of everything going on. Because think about it, when your life is full of just useless topics, like you're filling your every second with scrolling on your phone, you're filling every moment with some sort of entertainment, with some sort of noise, when you're filling every moment with the input from people that aren't friends and don't even know your name, you're just trying to get life advice from strangers basically online. And we spend our days, we spend every free moment, we spend every waking thought that we have thinking about other people that don't know us, that don't care about us, frankly, and who have never and probably will never give a crap about what happens to us. And we preserve their opinion over trying to find people in our lives that actually want to invest in us, actually want to be there with us. We value the noise over intimate relationships with other people, with opposite. And the thing about friendship that's so important is that you have people that will disagree with you. Everyone online is going to agree with you. Everyone online is going to tell you that you're doing the right thing, that you're going the right direction, that you can do this, you can get it better. You need people to disagree with you. And that's a huge thing that I've lacked in my life, and has honestly been a humongous hindrance, is this the fact that not enough people don't disagree with me. And it's only since working at the job that I have now that I've been put into an environment mainly of older men who have kind of been in the trades for years, and every single one of them doesn't want to care a single bit about your opinion, and they all disagree with you. And it's been kind of like, none of those people really are my friends, but I've had the ability to be mentored in a sense, and to find correction, and to kind of realize like where I've been very immature in my life, and kind of be humbled a little bit. All things which I would have gained more from having a larger friend group. Now I basically don't have anyone that I really can call a friend. I have family, which is great, and they disagree with me plenty, so there is kind of that nice built-in friend group, so to speak, but not enough differing opinions in my life, differing people like speaking, who are actually living life, not just like millionaires on a screen. But what we want, and what I notice in myself, is that the reason I don't like making friends, and I don't like going out and like trying to, I don't know, go stir up a hobby or something, or get in with groups. Like, first off, it's extremely difficult nowadays, it seems, to actually find a group. But then second, it sucks trying to invest in someone else. You know, we're so fed up, it seems, because everyone feels so fake. So we tell ourselves, or at least that's what I tell myself to cope, in a sense. We want the benefits of friendship. We want the connection, the support, the being understood, the having someone there, feeling known, not like we're just nobody. But we don't want the cost. As with anything with life, we avoid the cost. Answering and showing up and being inconvenienced by them, making plans and keeping plans, checking on people, and being needed when it's not convenient. A friend should never just be there for your own benefit. And that's why people, especially in our instant gratification culture, don't like friends, because they're inconvenient at times. When a friend calls you up, they want you to get out of your house. They want you to get up from your computer and go out and hang out with them and go do things and go on activities. And when you stop that with a friend, that friendship starts to die out. We want friendship that never interrupts our busy, quote-unquote, schedules. Another big issue that's been caused by all this ties back into what I was saying earlier with the social media and whatnot. But really, it's the texting back and forth that's a huge hindrance, because now you can accomplish communication. You can DM someone, you can comment, you can send an email. Even I feel bad on the videos that I post when people comment, because like we can communicate and complete like a communication circuit or whatever, but it's so robotic. There's no actual connection here. It's like people that you comment on their videos online can't be your friends. People that you DM only or text only can't really be your friends, because it's just a means of communication. It's not a means of emotion. It's not a means of shared experience. Often, a lot of the friends that I've had over my life that are gone now, that have kind of moved on or moved away, I've been friends because of shared experience. We worked at the same job. We did the same crappy job and had to clean brush or weed eat or whatever. And that shared like crappy experience of us helping each other out during that's what made some of my closest friends were friends that I made doing the worst jobs. The closest time I've ever been to my brothers, I felt like, and like hanging out with them all the time, was when we were underneath houses with our dad doing HVAC work, like setting up trunk line or whatever. That was when we bonded on this shared crappy experience, and we don't have that anymore. One, because people want to pursue comfort so quickly, but two, because it's uncomfortable in those moments when you are like working to actually try to like open up and talk to people. But that's where friendships come from. The friendships come from our mutual survival together, where we realize that, hey, we're on the same journey. Let's enjoy each other's company as we're going along. And I see this with especially a problem with the church and from the Christian angle for me, is the idea of love your neighbor requires availability. You can't just sit back on your chair and wish the good for someone else and wish that, oh, things will go well for that person and everything that they will need will be taken care of. Like, you have to be available for them. I feel this with my own neighbor. I have a neighbor who is a little like not all there when it comes to mental faculty. And I feel bad in the amount of times of recent, especially where I haven't been there for him to he doesn't have a car, so he can't really go anywhere. So there's been times in the past where I came over and I made sure that I took care of things for him, that I set up things for him, that I would help him like get food or whatever. And of recent, I haven't been doing that. I haven't been available. I've been so focused on my work and so focused on my own things that I haven't made time to just, I don't know, even just take him out to ice cream. This guy is never able to leave his house because of like where he's at. So to fix kind of the broader topic, even the practical solution, I like to end videos with a practical attack on things, is become more available. Not that suddenly everyone in the world will be there for you or whatever, but not only just become available, but try to start the comment. I know for me, I never text any of my friends. I never text any of my distant friends. I never try to communicate even to my own family. I won't even text them. And I know I just bashed texting a minute ago, but even like calls, whatever, I don't even try the most basic form of communication with every person that I know, people that I've shared years with. I'm never the first texter. I'm never the first caller. And like saying this to you and preaching to myself as well, the ability to put it out there to reach out first, to try to communicate first. If there's someone that you knew in the past that you've just kind of over time just let it kind of fade away, go ahead and text them this week. Go ahead and hang out with them. And then if you're probably looking at this from an angle of trying to find maybe a significant other, I mean, I'm definitely no expert in this area, but I can say that as probably an experienced failure in this area, the biggest thing is finding a routine place with the opposite sex that you can start a friendship with, because really it starts with a friendship. It doesn't start with like you just magically see each other and then you both catch feelings. It starts with a friendship. Any relationship I had in the past, it always started with me and her being in the same place for weeks on end before she kind of was like not as scared being around me and I was not as scared being around her, and we kind of knew each other. We had shared experiences. We had history after a couple weeks, and then we could move forward into a relationship. And that's the only way into it. The only way into finding like that person that you can be with for the rest of your life is by making a friend first of the opposite sex, of making, of having a shared experience with someone like that, so you can have kind of that history start building again together. So between friends and between a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever what you're searching for there, relationships require the same effort and work that everything else in life requires. And this is kind of the theme of the videos that I've been posting too, is that the good things in life require hard work and sacrifice, and friendships and relationships are definitely number one on top of that list. To have friends, you have to be willing to sacrifice your time and your energy for them. And you have to humiliate yourself. You have to be humiliated. If you don't have any friends, if you don't have any prospects when it comes to having a significant other, you have to go out and find them. And you have to be able to put your neck on the line, get rejected, get beaten down. Last video I talked about this too. Like in life, the only way to grow is to tear muscles. The only way to grow in your mind, in your soul, and your body is to tear things, is to move and to push yourself and to stretch farther than is comfortable, and only then do you begin to grow, you begin to become more confident. And it's the same thing with charisma and social ability. The only way that you're ever going to be able to fix this issue with having friends or not having enough friends or not having any like prospects for a future relationship is by stretching yourself, of putting yourself out there and getting brutally rejected, man. That is the part of life. Money, wealth, your job, your relationships, everything comes under this umbrella trait. Like if you want to be good at everything, be good at getting punched and picking yourself back up. And that applies directly to relationships as well. You gotta be rejected. You gotta learn how to deal with rejection, to not let it define you, to have friends and not gods. That's what's important. Don't worship the opinions of people that reject you or don't reject you. They're supposed to be your buddies. They're supposed to be alongside you, your peers. They're not someone that you need to worship, that you need to hold in a high regard. They're just friends. They're just a significant other. They're not God. And that sums up kind of the fight of what I was thinking about with this video. And that kind of is where I think we're getting things wrong. And we put so much on the line. There's so much out there when there doesn't need to be. Friends are people that you find along the way when you put yourself into situations and you put yourself out there and you become more available. So if you want a practical attack this week, you got to find somewhere. I go to a coffee shop every weekend, and I go there, I sit there, I'm kind of quiet. Not a lot of people talk to me, but over the couple years that I've been going, I have made connections. I've made acquaintances. I've talked to people. The barista there knows me. The people at the counter, the regulars, they know me. We talk every week. Would I consider them my best friends or whatever? Absolutely not. Would I call them in the middle of the night if I broke down on the side of the road? Absolutely not. But they don't need to be that. I like that they're the coffee shop people. I like that we go there, we talk about coffee, we talk about work, we talk about life, and then we go home and not see each other for a week or whatever, and then we get back together and we start again. But the only way to move forward, if you want something even farther than that, is to go to the same place over and over again, to hang out with these people, the people every week, to establish that history with them, and then start reaching out and being like, hey man, you want to go do this? Hey, do you want to go do that? Start making events. You gotta become the person in your friend group that's always bringing everyone together, that's always like connecting to the next event, the next thing that we can hang out, and being willing to sacrifice your time for that. I hope this was helpful. This was a helpful video. I'm not an expert on this as much, and maybe that shined through a little bit on this video. It was a little harder for me to kind of communicate the topic. But if you have any more ideas for what you think about the loneliness epidemic or whatever with Gen Z, and you just felt like there was something more that could be added, please feel free to share your opinion in the comments. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.